Hello and welcome to Potpourri. I'm Chasity Evans. Clark Atlanta University recently announced the appointment of a decorated law enforcement officer and retired non-commissioned military officer, Thomas Y. Trawick Jr., as the university's new head of security and director of emergency management. Chief Trawick joins us today to discuss public security and the new security measures for the university community. Chief Trawick, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us, and we welcome you to the Clark Atlanta University family and to Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm fine, and thank you for having me.
Great, great. Now, I'm really excited to have the privilege of introducing you and also to introducing you to the larger Atlanta cable network. I am sure all of your viewers are very anxious and they're really anxious to know more about, what security plans that you have coming up, new plans, and also, why you came to Clark Atlanta University. So you were selected from a field of 25 applicants in a national search. How did that feel, towards you being selected like that?
Well, first of all, it's definitely an honor and a privilege to be selected out of such a distinguished group of candidates. But I think, one of the primary reasons why I was selected is because of my vision. And, I like to say I start projects with the end in mind, which means I know exactly where I see the police department being not a year from now, but 5 to 10 years from now. And being that my core values, my own personal core values, are very similar to the university's core values. So I believe that was why the committee selected me, because it wasn't a unilateral type of selection. It was a selection that consisted of a committee, which was encompassed by students, faculty, and administration. And I think when I actually did my presentation, that they had a sense of belonging, and they felt that I would fit in well based on the presentation that I gave. And you have to love this job. You can speak it, but you actually have to love what you're doing.
Yeah. Now, I heard you just mention that about your vision. Now, what exactly is your vision, and what do you see the university from a year from now? What do you see making a difference?
Well, my vision is to have a innovative, creative police department, one of which the students, the faculty, and staff will respect and embrace. And I see a year from now where we would have a more collaborative relationship with the students. I noticed when I first got here it was a bit of us against them. We love you when we need you. If we don't need you, we can do without you.
Yes.
And I want to change that. I want us to have that relationship to where you're proud of us just as we are proud of our students. And that's where I see us going.
Now, do you really think that there's a disconnection between the students right now as we speak, or are you all working on that, unifying that? Well,
we are unifying that. There are some new innovative strategies that have been implemented, and I myself have gone around and touched bases with some of the students in the residential facilities to let them know the direction that we're going in. So I see a much stronger collaboration between the police department and the students.
Now, I heard that you mentioned about the core values for Clark Atlanta University. What security plan, a new security plan at that, are you going to implement with some of the core values in it?
Well, as I stated earlier, my core values are very similar to the university's core values, and believe it or not, before I came in, as I told you, I like to start with the end in mind. I implemented some strategies of which actually coincided with the university's core values. First of all, I'm student-centered. I believe that the students are my biggest priority. We're here to support the students. I'm going to do everything that I can to do to support them. I believe in innovation. I believe in discovery. I believe in going out researching new techniques and new strategies to combat crime. I also believe in respect. I think you have to respect our young men and women, and in return, they will respect you. Integrity. You have to lead by example. I can't say one thing and do another, and I have to also ensure that my officers are the same. So my core values are very similar to the universities. And some of the strategies are a new program, collaborative interactive policing. Now, this isn't anything new. This is a derivative from community policing. The difference is I want to collaborate with the students and faculty to get their input on what the core issues are as it relates to crime on campus. You know, Einstein said it best, Albert Einstein. He said insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. So I'm not an insane person, so I understand that I'm going to have to reinvent myself and reinvent the way that we police. And that's what we're doing now. I also realize that we have to reach out to where our young men and women are. That's why we're looking at rolling out a Facebook page in February, as well as a Twitter. I've already seen it. It's fascinating. I'm not that good with Facebook and Twitter. My children are. I have 3 boys, and they are very much familiar with it. So they're teaching their old dad how to communicate with the individuals of their generation. But those are some of the things that we're doing. And another thing that we're doing as well is, and this falls under the collaborative interactive policing theory, is we're doing a police outreach program in the residential facilities. Whereas I am assigning a police officer to each residential facility to have monthly meetings. And in those meetings, they're going to have training opportunities, self-defense, et cetera. And they're going to reach out to the students to get suggestions on how we can combat crime and things of that nature. And let me give you an example of what I discovered during my initial going to the residential facilities to basically get them ready for the rollout. I discovered that on Friday nights, Friday and Saturday nights, that we have a significant population who attend the social gatherings off campus. And the students told me that we had no coverage over off Greens Ferry when they were returning, between 12 and 3. So because we got that information from the students, we started posting officers at that location. So to stand as a deterrent to keep our students from being victimized. So when you start talking to your students and you get your students to help us keep them safe, then I think we can make a significant impact on keeping the campus safe.
To learn more about our security plan, please stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
Lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children today. Dust from lead-based paint could cause violent behavior. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org.
If you're just tuning in, we're back with Chief Trawick discussing the new security plan for Clark Atlanta University's academic year 2011. Now, with the assigning each officer to a residential hall, do you think you can also implement this with the other security chiefs in the other Atlanta University centers?
Oh, absolutely. Since I've gotten here, I believe in full collaboration. You can't do this alone. The AU Center is huge. We have a huge population. And I think working together, we can consolidate those resources to make a larger impact on crime in this area. So I have met with them individually. We've done some tours together, and we talk and we have monthly meetings. So this is going to be a collaboration to enhance security, not just on Clark Atlanta, but for the AU Center. And I also collaborate with the Atlanta Police Chief, as well as the sheriff for Fulton County.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, we need to keep them engaged, and they need to know what we're doing, because our crime statistics also impact them. So, and if you've noticed, we've had an increase number of drive-throughs by the Atlanta Police Department. So I'm very appreciative to Chief Turner and his staff. During homecoming, we had the sheriff to provide us with deputies. So we have initiated that relationship, and we're going to move forward and make it stronger.
So do you think like the disconnection of miscommunication between the CAU security force and the Atlanta Police Department, do you think that it has grown a little stronger, as well as the Fulton County Sheriffs?
Well, I think so. I think sometimes lack of communication tends to make individuals believe that you're not concerned, or that a need does not exist. And nothing could be further from the truth. Let's be realistic. I have a limited number of resources, whereas the Atlanta Police Department and Sheriff's Department has far more. So of course we need their help.
Okay. Now, do you think that it is natural, concerning with crime and students being victimized, do you think that it's natural for parents to be concerned towards safety when their students or children live on or either off of campus or either around campus? Do you think that it's natural for them to worry? I
think so. It's just human nature. First of all, many of our students are here from far distances. So it's not like the parents can just reach out and touch those individuals. And then you have to look at where you are. Look at the demographics. First of all, we're in an urban setting.
Definitely.
You're downtown Atlanta. Second of all, here in Atlanta, based on the economy, we have a significant rate of unemployment, and we have vagrants. Homeless population is pretty significant here in Atlanta. So, of course, they have a reason to be upset. But there again, we have to make sure that our students understand the demographics as well. And they can't be complacent, because that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get a false sense of security because you're on a college campus and you drop your guards. And that's exactly what the offenders or the perpetrators are waiting on. So you have to always remain vigilant and keep your eyes open and pay attention to what you're doing.
Now, about a year ago, a tragic shooting occurred on the CAU campus. At that time, there seemed to be, as I said before, a disconnection between, students and the CAU police force. Now, also with the parents, because they got involved as well, with their children being secured. What type of ideas does the CAU security force, as well as the Atlanta University Center, because everybody was affected by this, what type of ideas or ideas do they have that they would like to implement as far as with students, being relieved of their fear?